Yeah, right now I'm just going to set it to 100. And, that's not great. Oh, we have someone starving. So we are starving. They do not have food. They aren't dying off yet. Hey everybody, Masticon here. This is episode 6 of our Shibboleth series of Manor Lords, where we are going to play Don't Starve Together, Manor Lords style. So the big goal of this episode is going to be not starving. We have 2 months of food at this point. We just came off of our big victory where we defeated Hildebolt and claimed a territory. We have nowhere near enough money to actually do anything with this territory at this point. We are also low on houses, so we're going to try to get some additional housing in and get that going. But mostly we're trying to figure out how do we not starve come the end of winter. So let's get in here. Right now, we've got we're just hit that 1 month running out of food. So there's our warning. So this is kind of what everything's coming down to is how far can we make it? Can we make it through winter without losing people, still hitting all of our metrics as far as getting new families in? Or are we going to fall behind, get our approval so low we can't do anything about it? Now we're sitting on 31 gold. We are not yet in a position where we can upgrade anything, even though we have all the supplies. Why? Because there's no meat, so we don't have the food for it to be able to happen. We do have these 3 Burgage plots that are pumping out pork. That'll help us a fair bit. Again, I think right now with the perk that I picked, you get 1 pork every 2 pork every 54 days. So that's 1 pork every 27 days. So that really doesn't do much other than just keep that one area alive, but it does kind of throw some pork in and make it so you can upgrade some things. So what I'm going to try to do here is back here I'm going to put in another row of places. These are all going to be pork producing, nice pork producing haven over here. And again, I want to make sure I get the double plots, or not the double plots, but I want to make sure that I get space for the for all of these buildings to have animal pens, and then put the pigs in the back. So this will up. I have right now. I only have space for 1, so I do need to keep that. I do need to start progressing that along. Ideally, we also want to head towards starting to make some tools if we can, getting some of our basic other pieces together. It is, we're back up to 2 months, which is good, but that 2 months, it's November, and we don't have a lot of other sources of food. So my bloomery hasn't moved at all, and even though I moved the priority up at one point, let's move that up again. And I think this plot's going to be the highest, just so we kind of stay in front of the curve. Where are my construction workers right now? Yeah, still can't upgrade anything. I am good on fuel, probably ready to export some fuel, so hopefully get some more money in. More money means more pigs. We have not upgraded this yet to put in the farm, which is something we want to do. I don't think we want to do it over winter, but fairly early into the season, we're going to want to see if we can get the money to get our beetroot growing there, just to get that first crop in, because that'll be in earlier. It only takes 10 weeks to grow. That'll come in pretty easily. We've got 1, 2. Oh, they're still planting that field, so that's good. That'll grow up. So we should have 4 full fields going at this point. So that one they're planting. That one's fallow. This one they've planted, and it looks like over here they planted that one as well. So we do have, that is around about 200 grain, which turns into 200 flour, which turns into 800 bread. So it's just so much bread when we can get there, but none of that's really going to be ready until the end of next year. So we're kind of stuck waiting on that. Back down to 1 month of food, so that's not a great position to be in. There just isn't a source right now. I need the money to come in to be able to get some pig pens going. And because right now it'll be mid-January, we will run out, or in 1 month, so it seems pretty soon we're going to run out of food. And the only way we're going to get, or why is my bloomery still not, nobody's doing anything on that. It's still just at 0, even though I've got the priority up. And I'm debating, I think I want all of these back here to be chicken pens. One of the things to consider about chicken pens that's really important is chicken pens don't take any of a worker's time, so they just kind of freely produce food. Meanwhile, the animal pens actually take time from your worker. So if I am going to have people up there, they're working in the mine, which if they live right there is kind of the right thing. I don't want them to lose efficiency because they're spending time on their pigs. The mine just kind of can go forever. Meanwhile, for jobs that are more off and on, it can make more sense to have them working with a pig pen. Things that don't necessarily need to have perfect efficiency. Early on, that means things like your granary, your storehouse, because they'll just move over kind of what's available. Later on, that becomes more of a problem, but you always kind of just tack on some more people, and that works out fine. If you have a grave digger, again, you don't need the grave digger there. I'm moving everybody off of this farmhouse because everything is planted, and there's basically nothing for them to do, really, until we get pretty much all the way over to close to harvest time. So that's a whole group. That's the 6 people I had there. I don't have to do anything with them for quite a while. This bloomery, still nobody wants to build the bloomery. Over here, this is kind of where I want to put in my blacksmith, right there, where it's right kind of around the corner from all that. I wonder where are the construction workers? They're not out here. Clay. No. Oh, wait, we have 2 mushrooms there. That may be worth, as we get into the dark times, maybe worth sticking somebody back out there just to pick those couple of ones up. So this is a miner, which is great because it's right there. There's a charcoal burner, again, that's right there, not going far. Things we want people to do. This is a hunter. This is right over at the hunter's camp, so that's kind of nearby. Hunter's camp's another one. I could have that at super low. You know, they could be busy with, with pigs, or maybe even if I have a small enough one, they could have an orchard or a farm, a backyard vegetable garden, and that would all work out with that, because it doesn't take a whole bunch of time for them to run over and handle the occasional spawn of meat that comes in there. So we're finally getting, the oxen are dragging. We got 1 log finally over there. We have a ton of logs, so I don't know what's taking them so long. Our animals are just kind of ticking up and down. So, I mean, it's worth keeping someone there because they'll bring in more food in a month, and plus the pelts that we can sell off. We do have a nice stack of charcoal here that I would love to get. We don't have a horse yet. We're kind of relying on traders in that trade route. So that's kind of slowing us down a fair bit, where we can't really export much very quickly. Things are kind of getting stalled out in our trade routes. We do want to have this actually make a vegetable garden, because once once we have the money come early next year, we'd really like to get that upgraded. Still, no one cares about the Bloomery. They're all working down here, which is interesting. And again, what I want to do, I have this thing. I really don't like having like my plots that are super close to downtown be pig plots. Yeah, this is the one I want to be the bakery. It may have to be the other double up there. I do want to have a double as the bakery eventually, just because that way you'll process through all this stuff quick enough. And at some point I may even crack a whole extra farm once this region just gets huge and I just need that endless production of food. All right, so we have this Burgage plot, which is probably about to finish up. And then we'll put in the animal pen, get pigs in there because we can afford one more set of pigs right now. We still are having people join. So that's we do have a lot of open people right now. So I'm a little curious what all they are working on building. You got more people, so we might as well put some back into the logging camp and just get a few more logs knocked down. But looking over here, we probably want to extend this at some point, move the logging camp closer, because we kind of cleared out this initial area. I do want another farm that kind of mirrors the one that we have up there. I think that would be a neat addition eventually. Did they all leave? They were so close. They really don't like finishing jobs. They like start the job and are like, I'm done. No, everybody, apparently it's church time, so everyone's going to church right now. Because gotta go walk in, pay your alms and indulgences and whatever else. And except, is that Hans there? Hans doesn't want to go to church. He's out on the whole church thing. Maybe he already went. I don't know. So I wonder if these are starting to produce yet. Still haven't gotten anything. Again, that the perk that I picked really does slow down and decrease the effectiveness of these, which is a notable disadvantage, especially early game where like getting that meat can be pretty difficult. Eventually, this region may even start trading for meat from somewhere that has a whole bunch. So we are almost done here. They're actually finishing it now, so that'll get this one done. Then they should go over and work on the Bloomery. At some point, I'd love to avoid putting in a blacksmith, but I'd be a little surprised if I managed that. What are we sitting on? 14 charcoal there. That's not a ton, but it does make me wonder if I need more people over there. Bringing the charcoal is kind of the key thing. All right, so this Burgage plot is done, so we can get working towards our animal pen. At some point, we are definitely going to want to put in the apiaries, get the honey flowing, because that's going to affect the production in the whole area. And remember, this is where we're going to be growing flax. This is where we're going to be growing barley. All of those things are kind of on the horizon. Nothing in the Bloomery yet. They don't seem to want to take anything over there. Oh, and we've got full storage in the Woodcutter's Lodge. We have plenty of room here. We probably just need more people in the storehouse that are picking stuff up and moving it around. So that's something we want to see. Want to make sure you do kind of just have to tick these up as time goes on. You don't want to leave them at zero kind of forever. See, they did get this one fully planted, so 42 there. That is my worst field. Let's see, this one. Yeah. So that is like 800 food when it comes in. So that's really like enough food for basically a entire community of, of 50 people for a year. So it is a ton of food to have that whole garden there. And because I added that person, they built another one. So I am looking at the manor here. My goal is to put the manor down where eventually I'll clear these woods and kind of have have a view of that. I don't know. I like that rock formation, the idea of kind of building something interesting out here. And then I want to build the gates on these the two river crossings. The one thing I'm afraid of about placing this, I'm worried they're going to work on this instead of everything else I want them to work on. And it's really far away. So, like, they'll get distracted. They'll take something out there. And I don't know. I feel like this may just be a big drain on my system. Now, I do need to make sure I have a clear path to get out there. So probably need to connect this up and might want to do it on both sides. So we want to make sure we're coming down here, and we're just going to kind of connect into the road. I kind of like the T-junction, so coming in, that's something that's a sort of a T-ish junction. I do really like that that you don't have to make all these straight corners because Burgage plots are pretty flexible. I do figure at some point we'll kind of fill in this hill with something, put some more interesting things. That's room to grow the city that's not super far from the city. So I kind of figure the city will move farms to the north, and then kind of in that direction will be where we kind of put in more houses. And then we want to have kind of the other side, so two ways to get down. We may end up with another one that kind of heads straight in towards the bridge, but this just kind of gives us the multiple connection points to get the supplies down. So we need, is that 92 we need? We're nowhere near that. Hopefully we can get a good, like, chunk sale in here. I feel like getting the horse is really kind of necessary at this point. I think that's going to be important if we get a lot of money, just to keep money coming in, because I feel like we have goods around, but they aren't moving. All right, they're working on this. They still aren't working on the blue. Oh, now I feel dumb. So I never unpaused the Bloomery, which is why they haven't been building it for like forever. So one thing to note is if you have paused a building, you gotta unpause a building if you want it to get built. The pausing is a really useful thing, so it is something you do want to look at, but it is something that you do have to remember to undo. I've been sitting there like bugging that one forever, and yeah, I didn't realize it was paused, so that would explain why it hasn't been getting built. So now someone should hopefully drag over those last few things and build up that Bloomery. I can start making some iron slabs, and then eventually start making some tools. Tools are a good export thing early on. Plus, I'm probably at the point where I just need some tools for the buildings overall. Okay, we got a bunch of firewood here. Nobody's picking it up fast enough. Still can't upgrade anything. Again, that pork limitation is pretty serious. And right now, pork or chickens are kind of our only path, other than the occasional meat that'll come in through the wild game there. Oh, we also need to upgrade our well. This is an important thing. I've got about 20 families, and that well will not handle, I think it starts off handling 15. So that's another important priority to make sure that gets upgraded. You know, again, probably should have done it a while ago. It's not a huge thing to upgrade, but probably should have upgraded that, going by count, at about 15 people, probably about 3 months ago. So that would have been August, to make sure that you actually upgrade your well. It doesn't actually matter early on because you don't have the ability to upgrade your Burgage plots. If you happen to have somewhere that's a high meat and a high berries or something like that, then it can matter earlier on, but you're probably not going to get those more than those first 15 upgraded right away anyway. All right, so that means the well can start making progress here, and the Bloomery is on its way. We're going to have to start to think about a blacksmith. Is this... Oh, yep, he's taking pork. Curious if once that pork gets in, are we going to see... Oh, we got one we can go ahead and upgrade right now. So, our first upgrade, the first house that we actually get to take to level 2. So, this start has been very limited in that regard. We haven't had the ability to upgrade because food has been so sparse. Well, it's not going to be that way forever. We just don't have a big meat source. And that really slows our Burgage plot upgrades until we can basically get pork online. All right, so here we are in December. We have 2 open Burgage plots, so we should get someone moved in. We're at that 69% approval, so we'll still see we'll still see the extra moves in per month. And again, that's about to end because that'll happen in December, January, and February, and then we're just down to 1 family a month. So that's why it's really important to take advantage of these early years, though it is risky because you're creating a lot of mouths to feed and you're not growing that quickly. All right, so we do need the food. The food is a big thing, but I also am really interested in that horse. We've got a lot to move here. Okay, we did get the extra family. There's a lot I want to spend money on, and there is not a lot of money that I have to spend. So that's not the best situation. It is interesting. We're all the way into December now, and we haven't seen snow. So that's kind of nice. Looks like we did lose our upgrade ability over on the other house. So that's too bad. We can't upgrade one anymore. I wonder if that's because we're out of... Are we out of wood? Okay, our bloomery is it done? Come on, finish up. Bloomery, be done. All right, our bloomery is done. We got 6 people, so we might as well get some people working on that to start draining and producing slabs. And then we're going to need a blacksmith. Oh, we did upgrade that one. So it is upgrading right now. We can see that happening. If we have to, we can upgrade that to a blacksmith. But I did kind of want it over on the other side. It just, I don't know, it made a little bit more sense to have it that far over there. And now we're hitting snow. So now it's going to be cold. Now it's going to be miserable. And we're doing, what do we have? 24 food. And it looks like we have a total of 22 families. So we have a little over a month. We'll probably bring in, another 6 or 8. So we're looking at mid-January, late January is really our cut point where things are people are going to start dying. It does look like we are starting to get low on tools there, which is not good. So we are going to need to start looking at making those. And again, we kind of just are waiting for a decent payment out of our trading post in order to really move forward. Somewhere maybe I know a lot of people would probably just hit the fast forward button. Instead, I kind of just like to take the time, look through. So here we have someone on their way back from trading. Again, doesn't have horses. He's got to walk way slower, takes way less stuff. The other note is, in this particular game, I am in the middle of the map. I have the middle space. So going to trade is a really long walk. The trading points are all on the outside of the map. So if you're on a side of a map, the trips to go trade are way, way smaller. All right, so we are probably not going to be able to upgrade much, so I think this isn't a huge deal, but we are out of timber, and we need our saw pit to be going. That looks like it should be going. Part of me wonders, with all the building I'm doing, is that taking up all the oxen? Okay, we did get this upgraded. Now, here's the problem. I could go ahead and put this as a blacksmith when I have the money in the wood, but it's 25. That's most of my money, and it doesn't solve the biggest problem we're facing right now. Biggest problem we're facing is food. And so I do really want to move in a direction. I'd rather spend that money getting another pig. Another pig in the backyard, because that's at least one family, a little more than one family that actually gets food covered. Oh, we just got some money in. We got 136. So we're going to use that to get a horse, because we have a lot. We're getting a lot to trade in, and we need that to just be faster. And that leaves us with 75. So that could be 3 more pigs. Again, right now we are out of wood. We can grab this pig here. That gives us up to 4 pigs. So that is some sources of additional food that'll be coming in. Again, we're just trying to drag out our total food to be able to make us into February, March. In March, we should see the mushrooms coming back in. we can start planting the beetroots and all that. Again, we won't actually see that for a month and a half, so it'll be January probably before, or almost 2 months, so maybe the end of January before we actually get anything out of that plot. We have 3 mushrooms and 2 pork. Whole society built on mushrooms and pork. I want to say we're making egg rolls with a pork mushroom egg rolls. Sounds pretty good. But we don't have any rolls or any wheat, so it's definitely not what's happening there. All right, so we still have that 1 Burgage plot. This one's about to finish. That'll give us 2, and that puts us in. Again, we want to try to keep that where going to 0 is always a little dodgy. You don't want to miss the move in, even though right now we're moving into a village that has no food. Welcome to the village with no food. My 1 level 2 Burgage plot, the whole thing. Okay, so we do have people dragging timber. I think most of I wonder if we're short on oxen. That may be the problem that we're encountering here. I'd love to buy more, but it's more important for me to spend the time, the money on the, I really want to spend the money instead of buying oxen on getting pigs so we have food, because food is the concern. All right, so we're going to speed this up a little bit because we are just kind of hitting this point where everything is ticking in a little slow. And so just kind of, the thing is, if you leave it on this speed, you're going to miss so much. While, yes, stuff will be happening, it'll be interesting, what we're going to see is just so much going by. So we got this Burgage plot done. We're trying to put in, we want to make sure we're putting, is it done yet? Looks like it still needs some work. We've got the well we're finishing up, and just kind of trying to balance all of that out. They're still bringing some rocks over to finish up the well. That'll be done. We still see them dragging more lumber over for those Burgage plots. Why? What are my workers doing? Okay, that is our mid-December move-in. So we're still gaining. We're still doing great. We have 2 food total. Yeah, 2 food, 1 mushroom, and 1 small game. That's not going to be. That is not a good position to be in. And we don't have a lot of other sources till our first kind of 3 things of pork pay off. That'll give us 6, so that'll actually take us through about half a month. So there's that Burgage plot getting done. We'll go ahead and put in. Oh, we don't have the planks. What is our saw pit doing over here? Is it doing anything? All right, they're ripping through getting those Burgage plots built, which is great. I suppose once they're done with that, maybe our oxen can go back to dragging other things around. Because, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that saw pit, but it is not producing. Where are its people? One's going home, one is waiting, the other is going home. No, don't go home. Go make more planks. We have tons of timber out there. This has got to be a choke point on the oxen, probably, because they're not doing anything related to work, and we clearly have enough. Do we have an assigned oxen? We've got 1 post there. We don't have that person assigned to that oxen assigned to the logging camp, and there isn't anyone. Oh. You know what they're probably doing right now? That oxen is probably dragging everything over. So we got to free these guys up. If we free these guys up, so they're taking everything over to the manor. You know, I said the manor might kind of mess up our production. Well, right now that's it's low priority, but the oxen are all dragging logs over there because it's something to be built. Meaning they're not dragging logs to the saw pit. Nobody's dragging logs into the lumber yard. They're all just kind of sitting out there, which again, I'm kind of fine with them sitting out there. I do kind of want to set up a lumber reserve so that we're not just chopping everything. I've had the thing where you suddenly look up and you're out of lumber and you are flooded with out of lumber, but flooded with planks, and you don't want to let that happen. I don't know the exact right ratio right now as far as logging camps. I'm going to put one on this logging camp because I'm hoping one of those two kind of dragging stuff over and stocking up the logging camp. Be nice. There's our first January move in. Again, welcome to the city with no food. Try not to eat anything. Don't starve. And, okay, we should be mass producing charcoal right now. We've got tons of people. So at some point that should lead to tons of money. But right now we can't upgrade anything because we don't have planks. So that's kind of our biggest choke point. Are they doing anything yet? Right now I don't even have a limit on planks because you can always end up using so many planks. It takes 8 planks to upgrade a Burgage plot. So that is a huge... You could easily be sitting on 100 planks and then all of a sudden have an upgrade path and use them all, almost immediately. So I don't have a problem sitting on 200 or 300, 400, 500 even planks. You just don't use it. You just use them way faster than you do use lumber. Also, every log becomes 5 planks, so it is pretty quick production. So if you're sitting on 50 logs, you're sitting on 200 planks is kind of the equivalent. So what are these people doing? Okay, now they're guiding an ox. Where is he guiding? No, what are you? What? You're not even going the right way. He's guiding an ox, probably taking lumber down all the way to, he's taking stuff all the way down to the manor, which is like 8 million miles away. This is kind of why I said I didn't want to do that. Taking the manor requires a lot of goods. It's really far away. And so people just, their priorities get messed up. So I'm going to connect this up and kind of set up. One thing I'm going to need at some point is to move the lumber yard over. But I'm going to start by getting in another saw pit going, because I do have the people to do it, right? I do have, I'm sitting on 4 people. The only thing they're really necessarily building right now, 4 families, they're working on the manor, and that's about it. I do want, hopefully I can get them, pull them off the manor. One issue about that is now I go to build this, and the people that were over at the manor, they're like way over there, like, oh, now I need to go up there and build a saw pit, and they got to walk all the way back. So maybe I really wasn't ready to drop the manor out there, but I am interested in getting the retinue started. I'm at 68 regional wealth, which if I had the logs, that is like 2 more pig pens, and I want kind of all 5 of these back here. I'll probably extend it all the way out and just put pig pens in all of those. There really isn't a good reason not to upgrade just about everything. And okay, we're down to 0 food briefly there, and still nobody wants to cut wood. I just need people to cut wood. Oh, transporting planks. Where is he? Oh, they're probably taking planks all the way down. So we do. This is one of the issues when you're building, especially a really large building. The church does this. The manor does this. When you start adding to the manor, it does this. It's a huge resource drain, but it's a huge worker drain as well. And the manor can take literal months to get done. Like we're talking 4 or 5 sometimes. Especially if you, like I did, and placed it far away. I do really want it out there, just because that's the area I really want to build up protections in eventually. So I don't want to ignore the aesthetic decisions that I'm determined to make, but I also understand that, like, that probably was not a ideal place for it. If we can tick up a little higher, we're in January here. We might be able to get them to start planting in February. We did just get our mid-January move-in, so that's some progress there. So we still don't have any planks. Yeah. Ideally, like I probably should have bought another another ox at some point. I think now we're finally getting to the point where it's happening. You know, I've got those 2 mushrooms still sitting out there. I think it's worth. I've got the extra people. I'm just gonna stick the people who live here. I'm gonna stick them on this, just so that it's 2 food, and right now 2 food is exactly as many as I have. I have 2 food, and I'm just kind of scraping through January, hoping nobody starves. So we're still on that higher speed, letting things race through a little bit quicker. Horse is just sitting there, so we got to get somebody to move that horse. A whole thing of charcoal is like 100 gold coming in, so I need to get that. We still are not producing planks. We have 2. Right now I'm just gonna set it to 100. And, that's not great. Oh, we have someone starving. So we are starving. They do not have food. They aren't dying off yet, but we now have a family with, but it went away. Okay, so we are kind of staving off hunger temporarily. We're getting a little bit of food in. It's going in, it's going out. We got a couple of mushrooms, got a little bit of small game. We've got that trickle of pork coming in. So we're not in horrible shape as far as all of those things go, but we are kind of teetering on the brink right now. And maybe our saw pit isn't working because they're all sick. Well, when I get the chance, herbs would be a good idea too. That would also give my my gatherers out there something to do. Somebody needs to. Oh yeah, he is assigned. I was worried the horse wasn't assigned, but he is assigned. Somebody needs to grab that horse, grab a bunch of charcoal, and go sell it somewhere else. All right, well, that is it. That is February, so we're going to go ahead and call it here. Village is making progress, but our big goal here is we need to make it through to grow in some stuff without starving to death. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.